son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising, oh just you watch. I'm stepping into fate, there is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me, this is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. I'm cranking up on the throttle, victory is mine. Show you the harder the battle, harder I fight. I've come too far to quit, step back, I'm going in. I'm cranking up on the throttle, this is how legends are made.
Well, as soon as the screen
Here we
comes
are.
up, we are here, guys, on the eve of our, I think it's the 6th annual QSAC Quarter Scale
Not on the-
Nationals presented by
not on the
Mennare
eve.
Aerosports.
Right. We got another week.
Well, we got Wednesday. It's coming up.
True. That's
It's-
true. That's true.
We got the Nationals. I think this is our 6th year doing this here at Outlaw Raceway
Wow.
Park. Of course, the Dirt
Awesome.
Nationals, and we'll talk to, we have 2 special guests, Todd Holloway and Chris Stump, coming on. But the Dirt Nationals has been around a lot longer than 6 years for me. I mean, it's been kind of all over the United States prior to me getting it. And we'll talk to Todd about that because I think he's raced about every one of them. But yeah, so guys, hey, what a great night Saturday night was last Saturday. We had a good time.
Good.
It was fun. Afterwards, we got the lawn chairs out. We drank a little lease. We can do that after the races. And we sat around and talked all night. And then we had a great time. I mean, it was very relaxing. And it was just the track was fast.
Yeah.
Shoot. Some of the late models, Chuck, were turning faster laps than in the feature.
Wow.
You know, but they were down to record setting times.
Nice.
So, and I even turned some 7.2s myself, you know, so
Hey.
Yeah, if I was lucky to get down to 7.4, 7.5s, I find it pretty impressive. But hey, guys,
Right.
we're going to get Todd Holloway. He's out of Yorktown, Indiana. Chris Stump, I think he's up in that stomping ground up there. They all race at Ingles, the mini madhouse. I think that's what they call it. We'll talk to them. Guys, if you got any questions for me, Chuck, Todd, or Chris, get on the chat. And let's do the introduction to these guys.
You bet.
If it comes on.
You're on.
I think my computer's running a little slow.
Great video, man.
You would think that I live in the year 2024. We'd have better internet than what we do. But hey, look at there. Todd Holloway.
Hey, it's working.
waving, and there's Chris Stump. Is your microphone working, Chris?
I hope so. Can you guys hear me?
Yes!
Hey,
boy.
victory!
Yeah!
Look
That's
at
a
that.
win. That's a
Chris
win.
gets
All
Chris
right.
gets the belt.
Woo!
I guess we should congratulate Sarah. She's probably the one that fixed it.
There you go.
It was a
There
Hey
we go.
guys,
combination.
welcome to another episode of Friday Night Front Stretch, brought to you by Hobbytown USA out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Coming up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is I think it's the 6th annual. I think we've done that 6 years now. QSAC Quarter Scale Dirt Nationals presented by Mennare Aerosports. Guys, welcome back. It's been a year since I've talked to Todd quite a bit on the phone, but it's been about a year since I actually saw you guys, not in person, but on video. So what's up, guys? Kind of tell everybody what's going on.
Time's flying. I think that's all we can all say. It's hard to believe it's been a year already, but here we are.
Yeah, it's been. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, same thing. It's can't believe it's already time again. I'm ready to go.
My phone's going off. Chuck, you texted me.
I did. You were talking while the video was going. I wanted to make sure you didn't say anything bad about me. So
No,
I'll give you a heads up.
if I'm going to say something bad about you, it could be in front of your back.
There you go. In front of my back. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So, well, guys, what's new? You guys went down to the. Let's start out with the Asphalt Nationals. How'd you guys do down there?
I know myself personally, I've done better. Didn't fare real well with sprint car or the modified. We had a great time as usual, though. A lot of great friends that you don't get to see very often, just like we're going to see when we come out to Nebraska. Yeah, just had some struggles here and there. Had a couple good runs, a couple bad runs, and but the main thing was that I had fun and came home and was excited to get on with the rest of the year.
Sure. How about you, Chris?
I didn't have that much success down there. My truck just had a bunch of gremlins in it. Never really get the handle of it, but I had fun.
Well, that's the main
Seeing
thing.
everybody. Yep, have fun.
That's the main
How
thing.
is it? How in the asphalt world? Because like with dirt, obviously it's going to depend upon humidity and rain and obviously track prep. But in the asphalt world, again, not an asphalt guy here, but it seems like does the track play that much of a role in your setup? I mean, the heat, the humidity, all that. Does that still? Because when guys like Todd Holloway and Chris Stump say, "Yeah, I kind of struggled with setup," it's like, wow. I mean, if those guys are struggling, you got goofballs like me out there would really struggle with it. So how is it that guys like yourself, you've got a ton of experience?
Well, it does play a major role, and especially as the day goes on. You know, you might start off in the morning, you know, with the track one condition, in the middle of the day in the heat of the sun, it's another condition, and then later on that evening, you know, the track changes again. And then we did have some rain that came in, and that changed some things. But really, the car's handled good. I just, like David Bradford and Sadler would say, I just got a good old mud stomping, and you know what. But,
Did you miss the setup? Did you miss the setup then?
No, my ECM was pretty good. It was real racy. The sprint car, I just kept burning up right rears. I mean, I had a right rear come off the track. At one time, it was 240 degrees, and yet the car wasn't loose. The car wasn't loose, but yet it was spinning the tires down the straightaway. Is the only thing I can figure. But
Interesting.
oh well, we've changed some of the things we're doing now, so hopefully that'll help for next time. And but I don't think it was so much set up, but the other guys too they're tough. I mean, you go anywhere to any of these races, and you got your hands full, especially if there's a full field. You got your hands full just to make the race. For one thing,
how many drivers came to that, Todd? Sorry, how many drivers they have overall there? Do you think?
I think we had about 55 entries. I think somewhere around there.
Nice.
Somewhere in that ballpark. I can't exactly remember. You remember, Chris?
I say it's about that many. Better than what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I was probably about that.
Because you guys are out there that week. That you're out there like a Tuesday through Saturday. Is that right? Did I? I was trying to
Well,
watch.
actually, we got there Saturday morning, and then we left there the following Saturday morning.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah,
So,
so
so you're taking
Saturday's basically
PTO. Yeah.
Saturday's basically just a day you get there and you park in the pits and get everything set up. Sunday the track opens for practice, so you can practice all day Sunday, and then Monday you go into controlled practices, and then from there qualifying, and then you race Monday and or Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday's a day off. In case we have bad weather, we can run that Thursday,
Nice.
catch up, which we had to do a little bit of.
Nice.
And then our mains are on Friday, and we're done Friday evening. So
Yeah.
it worked out pretty good.
Very cool. Very
Wow.
cool.
And this is where down at what state?
Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh
Yep.
wow.
Alabama.
Woo, nice and beautiful time to be in
That'd hot and
Alabama,
humid
man.
down there.
Oh,
This
yeah.
that time of year, wasn't it?
It was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next year it'll be in Dallas, Texas. Well, Texas, we'll say, but
Fort Worth,
Burleson, Texas.
Burleson,
Yeah,
just
around Fort
south
Worth
of
area.
Fort Worth, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a suburb of Fort Worth. It's called Burleson, Texas.
I know me and
if
Kim went
anybody-
down there, and it looked like you guys are having a pretty good time down there.
It's hard to go to one of these races and not have a good time, in my opinion. If I wasn't having a good time, I'd have quit years and years and years ago, and had a lot more money probably in the bank for sure. But,
Yeah.
if anybody's on the fence about next year and about going and running a big event, you can't go wrong by going to next year's nationals. The guys always put on a great race, good people, great food, and we always have a good time.
Well, we're going. Me and Liskey's heading down there.
That's what I heard.
We're going to dip our toes with you guys, and I hope I don't break one of you guys' cars. I'm used to racing. Used to racing dirt where you slip and slide and and stuff like that. So, but we're looking forward to it. I know Don is really excited about going down there. He's really got into the quarter scale. He's got 2 now DT cars. So he's really looking forward. He's got a 305 and 360, which he runs the 305 out here. But we went up to Algona. That's a fun track. Those guys up there, Mike Schultz and Myers, and those guys are fun guys to race with in the 305 class. We had a great time. So, and it was hot too. And we didn't blister tires like you guys did, but we had a pretty good time. So I noticed, Chris, that you were having a car for sale. One of the cars behind you, wasn't it? Is the car still for sale, or did you sell it already?
Yeah, you need me to load it in Todd's trailer?
No, I already bought one.
You want to buy it? Oh, okay.
I already bought one.
You haven't bought a JP55?
Well, no, I like my DT. It's been.
I don't
good
blame
for
you.
me.
That's why mine's on the shelf now.
What are you running for dirt this year then? What chassis?
I'm gonna run sprint car, 360s, and the truck.
And what chassis are those?
Both, all of them WCM.
WCMs, yeah. How about you, Todd?
Same as always. I'll be running the WCM old tube frame car, and then Paul Covington is. He wasn't able to make it last year. But he's going to be able to make it this year. He's going to be running. We think the truck class. We're not 100% sure yet. He's talking about it, but he's going to be running a 305 sprint car this year for the first time.
Really?
He's never even practiced. He wouldn't even practice mine on asphalt, but a good friend of ours.
Talk about baptizing in fire. Whoa.
Yeah, we got to give a shout out to Kevin Ligon. He's a longtime quarter scale racer. I think he started in 2005 with us.
Wow.
And he races asphalt primarily, but he used to go with me to some of the dirt races. We've been to Oklahoma and we've been to Kansas, and he ran both of those tracks. And dirt just wasn't his thing. And he had this old Predator on his shelf, and
was that what that is? A Predator?
Yeah, it was kind of together, and Paul went ahead and finished it, and Kevin was nice and gracious enough to offer it to Paul to run for at your track, and then also in Kentucky when we go there in October. So
Nice.
it's going to be baptism by fire, I think.
Well, let's look at some of the chats real quick. See who's on. If you guys get on, say howdy so we know who you are. There's Brandon Cox. Greetings, gents. Brandon is out of Joplin, Missouri, and he runs a late model.
Cool.
And, he did a really fine job.
Really
Saturday
well.
night.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
There's my buddy, the semi-driver
Schulte.
himself, Mike Schultz.
Yeah.
Mike Schultze.
Yeah.
Hey, Schultze, I'll be bringing those Grand Prix stickers for you, too, for the front of that Pontiac body.
You know, speaking of that body, I cannot believe. Okay, so I over the years the bodies have really streamlined, right? I mean, they've got, but we used to run those type of bodies back in the day, the Grand Prix, the tall, boxy looking things. And I cannot believe I looked at that car and I thought, holy cow, did we actually run those cars?
Yeah.
But that's all we had back then.
And they weren't Lexan, they were ABS. You know,
ABS,
you remember how hard those were to cut and to mount. It was
horrible. A Dremel tool will melt, basically.
Yeah.
But they did come out Lexan later, and they had really cool bodies. They had Pontiac Grand Prix, they had the Buick Scott Buick, they had the Oldsmobile, they had the Lumina, and the Ford, of course, and Thunderbird. And you had so many different, the grills and everything are so much different. Where today it looks, outside of the headlights, they all kind of look identical, kind of the NASCAR type style. But I saw that and I thought to myself, did I actually run that body back in the days? But we did,
and surprising enough, there is a lot of guys, I say a lot, I've talked to quite a few guys anyway that really like that old body, and I guess a lot of the guys that do like it are probably guys that, grew up in the 80s, and the 70s and 80s and had those cars and that kind of stuff to drive. So they relate to them. But I think there's a niche there where if he really promoted it, I think he could sell a lot of those bodies.
That'd be a heck of a nice little, I can't call it limited, like a street stock maybe type style.
Right.
Yeah, so there's David Bradford, one of the co-chairs. Stump, you're in a mud hole.
We were talking about the race down in Alabama.
Well, lots of races over the years.
Gotcha.
This all got started when my phone got stolen off the table at the restaurant by Mike Sadler. And
of course. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, me neither. But he got on Facebook and told David that I was going to stomp a mud hole in his, what. And I had no idea that this had happened. And people started reaching out to me saying, why did you put this on Facebook? And come find out it was Mike.
Stirring the pot.
So it's been an ongoing joke for a lot of years.
And there's your daughter. I mean, your wife. I think it was 55, give or take.
Nice. That was the number of entries. Yep.
Randy Order.
Hey.
Old body on dirt over the trucks. It's more what you see on a local dirt track. Yeah.
Colorado connection. Look at that, man.
Yeah. Colorado. Yep. Are you coming down, Randy, and racing? I've seen that.
Hopefully.
Donnie Sullivan did a shout out that he's coming with the 305 in a truck. So
good.
Hey, did you see where Randy Brown's coming?
I saw that. I thought, wow. That's going to be a tough truck class then. If Randy Brown, I wonder if he's going to race a sprint or just a truck. I wonder.
I think just the truck, the way it sounded.
Wow.
We raced together at McChesney Park this last weekend, and he said he was coming, and I asked him about that, and I'm pretty sure he's just running the truck. I don't know. I don't think he's got plans on the sprint.
Is he bringing his bride down?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. Because I got some paperwork for her to give to her. She wanted a copy of my release of liability forms.
Right. Well, Randy sure can't take it to her.
Sure. And there's what's up, boys from Milwaukee.
Look at that,
He
man.
must be on the job somewhere.
Can you imagine that? He's actually working.
That's what I said.
And he's
Well-
not working. Yeah. Hey, Chris, where's he usually work at? He usually works out here in the shop with me, doesn't he, on vinyl?
Yeah, he just stays at home. I don't think he ever works. I need a job
You
like
mad
that.
Just say you mad or jealous, exactly. Hey, Mike.
Yeah,
Also, I
exactly.
think folks are some of the because I'm watching it on Facebook as well, and a lot of the some of the comments aren't showing up here on our screen. Got Gatsky and Sobbing, Money Lap Racing. They're watching us. Mike
right.
Schultz, Alex Livingston. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
Alex, yep.
Alex. Okay, Alex Livingston is watching.
He
So
had a good run years ago up here until a wing got ripped off that car.
I tried to get him. I talked to him last weekend. I tried to get him to throw some dirt tires on it and come on up, but he didn't have any dirt tires.
Mm-hmm.
They had sold them all, but heck, we could all round up enough tires for him, couldn't we?
There's probably a spare or two in pit lane.
Oh, yeah.
Don Liskey is watching us. Is
Hey,
he in the
Don.
pen? He's not in the penthouse.
No, he's not in the
next-
penthouse. He's at home in North Platte, Nebraska.
Got another one for you guys. Brian Howard is watching as well.
That's a
Welcome,
co-chair.
Brian. Okay.
Coach Chair?
Oh, I remember Brian. Yeah, we had him on the show
We
earlier.
had him on the show with Mike Sadler
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him for a while. I can't remember exactly who Brian is.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, he was supposed to race with us his last two races, and he's been missing in action. So I gotta give him a little bit of a hard time, don't we, Chris?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think it's ZFR. I got to make sure Zelazny. It's a hard enough name to say anyway. Now they got an acronym. Zelazny Family Racing. Chris Zelazny is watching us, and of course Randy Order. He's already commented, and then Paul. So thank you all for commenting that you're watching. Those must be coming across YouTube, Mike. We'll have to talk about that.
It
after
probably
the show.
is, and I can't see YouTube right now. So
right, that's why I was ahead of them.
That's why it's probably.
So yeah, if you're commenting on YouTube, I'll do everything I can to make sure.
If they say something on YouTube, or if they get
Right.
on my personal page, I know Nancy gets on my personal page, and I don't see it till after the fact. But hey, guys, let's talk about the quarter scale dirt nationals. And Todd, you're probably making the banners right now as we speak, but let's put this up on the board here. If I could, of course, if I can read it because it's so far away, my eyes don't work as much. But
I'm gonna go hit print while you're talking.
Dirt Nationals 2024 Dirt Nationals presented by Mennare Aerosport. Mennare's been with us now how many years?
Mm-hmm. At least 4, right?
He
came down one
4.
year. Yeah, because he was here in person 1 year, and then he sponsored us. And I wasn't sure. I asked Mike pre-show if Matt was going to make the drive down or not. He wasn't sure. It didn't sound like it.
I didn't sound like he was. But Mennare makes quarter scale sprint car wings. I've got one here at the house, and I'm assuming everybody else probably has that. I think Gunder makes his Falcon wings. But Mennare, I want to thank you for jumping on board for the 2024 Dirt Nationals, and then the class sponsors. Let's go through this real quick. And Todd, if you're around, you can talk a little bit about the companies that we're going to have sponsors with. Yeah, of course, if my internet is so bad out here, guys, and I apologize for being.
Oh, there you go. Nope. You had it.
No problem.
There we go.
Let's see. You would think, okay, B&B Seamless Gutters, Greg Bolte out of Fremont, Nebraska. He jumped on board and sponsored the 305 class. Greg is a longtime big sprint car driver way back in the days. Now his son, Justin, has taken over. And Greg has piddled with some 10 scale cars this past winter and things like that. So thank you for B&B Seamless Gutters to jump on board.
Yeah, that's awesome to get some new people that, it's so awesome that we've got the sponsors that we have, even asphalt dirt regardless, but it's always nice to see someone new come along and want to be involved. So we appreciate that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see again. I got to get everybody shut off because the computer's running darn slow tonight again. And I even shut the computer off, Chuck. Remember last time we were having trouble?
Yeah, you did good. Yep, you're good.
Let's hide it. And we'll get on the next one. And this one is the super truck class. Mike Clark, SRP Racing. He makes the Lexan bodies for the quarter scale cars. If you guys are interested, he makes pretty nice bodies. I think that one that you had on your truck, was that an SRP? Yeah, because that's got the roll tubes in the back.
Yeah, the SRP one is from Mike, and it's the one that looks kind of similar to an older Dodge, maybe the front, the way it's made. It's not quite as flat across the front. And then the one on the 95 car was a older WCM body. But yeah, Mike is making the truck still, and then he's also making the stock car body. And he's real good to work with. Yeah, he's got a nice stock car body. Yep.
I might have to look into that.
I'm just gonna say new class. That might get me out there, man. Those sprinters are too fast for me. The trucks are too loose for me. So I got to find something where I can get out there. So yeah. plus, if I have all four corners covered, there's less of a chance I'm gonna cause a problem for you guys. So there you go. Yeah, you say that.
And then the next class sponsor is Team Holloway Racing Graphics. I don't know that guy very well.
I don't either.
I've heard
he's an idiot. I know that.
You've been sponsoring us since the Nationals been existed, and I appreciate the hard work and the banners you make and the plaques you make and things like that goes in with this thing. And then Todd is actually the guy that gets a lot of our sponsors for us, for associated sponsors. And that can't be easy work, calling people up and trying to sponsor a little rinky-dink dirt track that we have out here. But we appreciate that. And then we have again, I got to wait for it to catch up. But Extreme Motorsports out of Beatrice, Nebraska. They are sponsoring our plaques for Friday night.
Extreme Motorsports or Extreme Graphics?
Extreme Graphics. Well, they call themselves Extreme Motor. Where'd he go? Oh, he's down here.
There you go. Yeah, I use Brian all the time.
Brian solid. At Extremes decals. Yep. Sometimes he calls himself Extremes Motorsports and decals and signs. He's out of Beatrice, Nebraska. Brian has done a lot of work for a lot of the races around in fifth scales and quarter scale. I think he even did a 10 scale body for me years ago. And I know he don't get a lot from us as far as work is concerned. Hopefully he does. But he steps up every year, and I call him up. I say, "You interested?" And he says, "Yes, he is." And he makes our plaques for Friday night, and he also does our local point show plaque. So I try to send him as much work as I can locally.
Yeah,
so
that's who I use. I think Stevens uses him as well. So
yep. And then we have the guy that's going to give us our plaques. For Best of Show, and of course, I think I put out there that Stu Snyder is going to be our judge this year, or Grand Marshal, I guess you call it. I don't know what you call it. But Mr. Yardsamore, Dennis Stevens, he's going to make our top qualifying awards. We're going to do a 5-minute qualifying session with top 3 consecutive laps. And then you'll get a nice thing from Dennis, sponsorship. I'm also giving out $50 per class in honor of my mother. And I'll put that out here real quick. Let me put that out here. Again, it's slow. I was hoping they've been running cable lines, but
it's a good picture of your mom.
I got a picture of my mom. Brian
That's
Howard called me after she passed away January 21st of this year, and she was a staple out here making food, walking around, visiting with people. Toward the last year or so, she started slowing down where she didn't make it out of the house very often. And Brian called me and wanted to know if I could put her picture in memory of my mom on the quarter scale rules package for the addendum. So, and I said, yep. And so in her honor, I'm going to give $50 away per class for the top consecutive top qualifier for Thursday night. So appreciate Brian for stepping up and doing that. It's nice of QSAC to recognize her.
Yes, sir. It's awesome.
Yep.
And let's see here. I got one more to go if I can. There we go. It's just slow. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no,
I'm still on satellite. Can you believe that? I was on dial-up about 5 years ago, so you can imagine. But okay, so Todd, talk us about, and I'm assuming I don't have probably the current one, but talk about our associated sponsors a little bit.
Well, we've got quite a few really good associate sponsors, and I mean the class sponsors and the title sponsors, we couldn't do it for sure without them. But the associate sponsors, they mean a lot. I mean, most of the time at your dirt race, everybody leaves with at least winning something from that drawing.
Right.
And that I always take pride in that. I think that's cool that these guys step up and do that. But A-Main Hobbies and ProTech, they've stepped up again, and they've sent us a nice packages, some stuff to give away at your dirt race. So A-Main and ProTech. I sent out an email to our text message to some of you guys where they had given us a code to get like 10% off. And it's not something they put out there on, social media or anything, but to the racers. So if you've got that and you're a racer and you receive that code, share it with some of your other racers, as long as it's not on social media, they would love to get that out. The guy that I work with there is awesome. He got me out of a bind. He had sent me, I shouldn't even tell him myself, but might as well. Heck, he sent us a whole box of stuff to give away, and he sent it for both races, for the asphalt nationals and the dirt nationals.
Very cool.
And dummy me took it all to Alabama, and we gave it all away to Alabama.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I get home and I'm looking for the box of stuff for the dirt race so I could get that all together and realize that, we gave it all away to Alabama. So, believe it or not, A-Main Hobbies, ProTech, Boca Bearings, and I did it with all of them, DDM, all three of those guys, and all three of them stepped up and sent us some more stuff to give away to your race. So,
oh wow, that's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, if you're a racer and you're needing anything from any of those guys, like I said, A-Main, ProTech, Boca Bearings, they have really stepped up and given away some nice stuff at the Asphalt Nationals and the Dirt Nationals. You'll see on the paper they've got a new logo and everything, but they're really tailored to the quarter scale and to the 10th scale and all that kind of stuff. And you could actually go in there now and put in a certain code number or product item and might pull up all the bearings, let's say, for a WCM.
Wow.
Let's say if LT3, TNT LT3, Dytech, Freddy's, any of those guys, if they wanted to get a hold of Boca Bearings, they will put together a package, or not a package, but they'll put together a group of bearings for your particular manufacturer of your car. They just need to know what they are. So if these manufacturers would reach out to Boca, they'd be happy to put you an item together where when you order that item number, you get every bearing that car comes with.
Sure.
Very nice.
And then, of course, we have VP Racing Fuels. They really help us out, both asphalt and dirt. So I've got 5-gallon jugs from them to give away. Then we have Mr. Yards and more, of course.
Yep.
They're another one, that steps up every year and really helps us out. The Extreme Graphics, of course. They're also an associate sponsor along with B&B Seamless Guttering and Dave's Discount Motors. That's another one that they are more than happy to help us and work with us. And I've been going to do this for the last couple of years, and I haven't had time to do it. I hadn't taken time, but one of these days I'm going to get a hold of them. And there's a gentleman there by the name of Brad, and he's offered to make us a page, basically, or a section for everything that's legal in QSAC. So
That's DDM, right? Yep.
DDM, yeah. You would have a list of all the parts for a 230 and a 240, and you could go to that list and know that those are approved for that car or that motor. So it's something that'll take a little time, but he is willing to do that for us. And then, of course, we have Brian Howard with AMSOIL, and he donates a lot of oil to us to mix for the races, and he's helped us out a lot. And then we've got QSC Components.
They've been
Frank
around a
is
long time.
He's probably our longest tenured sponsor we've had. Their service is second to none. Yes. And Frank's always willing to step up and help. He just got a hold of me today and reminded me I needed to stop by and pick up the giveaways to bring to your race. And so I'll be hooking up with him Monday or Tuesday and picking that up. But and then,
I think everybody uses their Heim joints anymore. I mean,
they've got every kind you'd want. You know, from economy to chrome moly to whatever you use, they'll have it. And then Outlaw Raceway. You guys all know them.
I got some parts coming to give away too. I'm a dealer for DDM, so I just don't advertise it that much anymore. But I got some good stuff coming for a giveaway.
Got some washers.
Yeah, well, I got away from the lock washers because everybody thought somebody else was cheating.
I'm sorry. Did I think that or say that? I'm not sure.
You know, how many years has that been? Gosh, I can't remember when. And I didn't get caught. It was the other guy that got caught.
Yeah.
And he copied all my motors, and he got caught with lock washers. And I swear to God, guys, it was legal.
It
didn't say you can't use it.
That's what they all say.
It didn't say you can't use it.
Yeah.
Let's look at some comments before we get into actually talking about the Dirt Nationals. Chris says, I'm on Facebook. Good job Saturday night, Chris. You won the Fiscal Sprint and the late models, I think. Yeah. You had
a good night.
Yeah. Chuck says, replying to Chris, I see you on the chat window. Paul says, apparently he's not working because he's talking to us. Let's see. Can't be a chicken, Chuck. That's what Todd tells me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, trust me. It's more for your safety than mine. So there you
go. Mike Sadler says, is that the fall guy, Chris, the rambling, bumbling stump? Jeez, you guys are
rough crowd, man.
I hope I don't get a nickname when I go to Texas.
That's a story for in person.
Oh, you don't want to talk about it, Chris?
Did you fall down?
I had a lot of fun that day.
I should have sent pictures to Mike ahead of
time. Maybe you guys know this.
Blast.
Mitchell Bose.
That's my cousin. Yep,
that's your cousin?
Michelle.
Okay.
Yep, she tunes in, watches the show. Yep.
Mike Garrett won the 305 sprint car class Saturday night. He's going to run the 305s this weekend. Oh yeah, Chris, you didn't win the late model. I forgot you broke down, and he came out late. I can't remember who won the late model class.
Sorry, man.
I don't know. No, not the late model. I broke before the race started, so Rob Peter to pay Paul.
It was the white car, wasn't it? That Sabine.
No. It was Mike Soltel's car. That's right. Bo Sheffield, rookie. First time in a large scale. And he took the win.
I meant Soltel.
Yeah, Bo, yeah. And Chris, I've got your tires. You left them up in turns 1 and 2. There's two of them up there. And they're in the scoring shed if you need them. Mike Sadler said, tell it. Yeah, tell it. Hey, we'll get him on some fire water and or whatever you call it.
I'll tell it. I ain't shy.
Okay,
I ain't afraid of it. Well, was it Thursday?
It's called Oil Fire, Mike.
Oil Fire.
Oil Fire.
Oil Fire.
Oil Fire. Well, I started on Miller Lights and beer, but
you were on that stuff.
it was really hot down there on Thursday. Yeah, no. We came back to the house and we decided to get in the pool, and I started drinking. So I was under the impression that we was not going to be going anywhere that night. So I started drinking more than I normally do,
Yeah.
and I basically didn't stop. So we all decided, or somebody decided, let's go get some pizza. And I probably already had, it was quite a few, and I was already feeling it. So we decided to go to this pizza place. And I guess on the way in Todd's truck, I kept asking where we were going because I didn't know where we were going. And they all thought it was funny. So
Everybody remembered that naturally.
we get to the restaurant. They had a long wait. So we left and we started walking to another restaurant. Well, this is when it gets interesting. I'm asking a lot of questions and not being able to really walk that well. So we came up
I
to a
hope your wife
curb.
doesn't hear this.
Whew.
Oh, she was there when it happened. She was the one that was driving Todd's truck that night when all this went down. She kept telling me we were going to get pizza, and I kept asking. But I came up to a curb, and I went straight to the floor, or actually I should say the grass, and fell, and my shoe fell off. And
Hey,
I'm
do it
asking where
here.
my shoes at, and it was over. And all these guys, instead of coming over to ask me if I was okay, they all got their phones out and started recording.
That's awesome.
And the only person that came over to ask if I was okay was Tim Smith.
So your wife didn't even ask. I
Your
love it.
wife didn't even
I,
ask
I
you?
love it.
no, she was the one that had her phone out.
Phone out.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
she was one of them with the phone out.
Yeah, but that was I was pretty entertaining that night. I'm sure there's some video and some pictures. I'm sure we'll show you guys when we get out there.
She's hammering you on the Facebook. That's
Yeah.
good for her.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah. Paul says 3 beers is all it took.
Man,
That's-
cheap date.
That's I don't drink a whole lot, so it's probably close to that.
Too far off.
In my
Hey.
defense, they were tall boys.
And then, of course, there's your wife, man down.
No,
Man down, yeah. Everybody helped him too.
That's
Well,
awesome.
let's get on before we close out the session, guys. Let's get on to the quarter scale dirt nationals. I've got a quick video here for you, so let's play it out. If the internet will work again. Wow. I hope we're back on.
Yep, there you go. You're back.
Am I back? This thing is running so slow tonight. It's
I'm
pathetic.
having a few issues myself.
Well, you know, I don't know where that came from. Let's go up here. That's kind of cool, but let's go up here. There you go. There we go. Now we're back. Oh,
Well, you know, I think we're going to have a good turnout. I know in our trailer we're going to have myself and Paul, and we'll probably each run 2 classes. Chris
Is
Stump
Todd
will probably
Gunder
run
coming?
2, and Todd Gunder, yes.
Oh,
So we can't wait to all of us hang out together and come and see you guys, because I tried to tell everybody that it's probably the funnest weekend that I have racing these cars the whole year.
Right.
And the crazy thing about it, and I tried to explain it to Randy Brown, and he must have kind of caught on because he's coming back. For whatever reason, you run the least amount of laps of really any of our big races that we go to, but we have the best time. And I think maybe for guys that's been around dirt racing or some real racing, it's more of your Knoxville, Iowa feel, you know, the way your format is. And matter of fact, we took your format and put that in our rule book for dirt, where if someone else puts in for that race sometime besides you, that this is the format they're going to use. And no, I don't know what it is, but it's something that we all look forward to. And I kind of feel like myself and like Johnny Pipcock and Chris and guys that normally run just asphalt, it's kind of our duty almost in a way to spread the word that, hey, there's an awful good time to be had on the dirt at your track and other tracks. And, you know, guys that's got old cars, I mean, a brand new car is awesome, but let's face it, not everyone's going to have a brand new car.
Sure.
So these cars here, one of them's probably early 2000s, maybe 2002, and the other one's probably it was 8 or 09 or something like that. So
that's awesome.
You know, you can run what you brung as far as the age of the car. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, where for sure it's going to be there. Kevin, or not Kevin, but his brother.
Yep, Kurt.
Kurt,
and he ran pretty good. You know, he ran down. Kurt ran down in Australia on dirt.
Yeah,
and he did a really good.
What late 1880 or
that
1980?
Yeah.
I don't think they had cars back in 1880, Todd.
That's when Todd was young. Leave him alone, Chris.
That's no oil fire.
He did a good job.
Real horsepower.
There you go.
He came out for just a local race, and he did really good. So they just got to try to dial it in a little bit. Type of, you know, and of course this year we're going to have a lot different surface than you guys are used to.
Yeah, you're going to love this surface, guys.
We brought in some, I don't know if you can't call it sugar clay. It's like a loam clay of some sort. We talked to a guy. I ran into the guy that actually designed a track with the motor grader. Oh gosh, how many years ago? 4 or 5 years ago, Chuck?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, and I ran into him at Yan Equipment where I worked at, and he just came in and we got talking, and I thought, man, I know you from somewhere. And he explained. So we got talking about the dirt surface, and he said, he says, you need this stuff. And it's made out of glacier back in the old days, glacier dirt. So we hauled, Dennis Stevens hauled like 6 truckloads out. And it really has made a difference in our racing this year.
So fast. It has got some bite, boys.
Yeah,
You're gonna,
you know, and
good deal.
It can be slick in some places. It can be, you know, and it still ruts. It's a dirt track. It'll rut up, you know, just like any other track you would. But that gives it kind of character, I think, is trying to find that perfect line and stuff. So, yeah. So how many dirt races? The QSAC Dirt Nationals didn't start with me. It goes way back farther. Can you remember, Todd or Chris, on that?
I'm looking at a plaque right now. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Nothing. I said that's probably your question because I really don't know about that one.
I'm looking at a plaque right now that was at Schaefer Speedway in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. And anyone that's been watching the World of Outlaws at Knoxville know Tim Schaefer. Tim Schaefer's raced wing sprint cars forever. He had a backyard, kind of like yours, backyard go-kart track.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2008 was, I think, the second year, either the first or second year I was there. And then they had raced a year or two before that. So,
wow.
So we're talking 2006, 2007 when dirt stuff started out there in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania.
What was that like racing over there in that track? compared to like my
That
track
track was
today?
huge. It's probably as big or bigger than any of our asphalt tracks.
Oh wow!
It's big enough that Tim has actually got video out there where he got his actual real sprint car out there on the track and was driving around the track.
That's a fact.
It had 2 6-foot retaining or water ponds in each end of the track that they used to suck the water out to water the track. And they had some plastic barricades to keep you from getting in the water, which it worked until the very last time it didn't work. And
Oh man.
we had a guy dump his car in there, and he was so happy that it was floating. And when he was able to get to it, it was just the wing that was floating.
Oh my gosh.
And
Wow.
I can still remember him turning that car upside down and all the water pouring out of it. And but yeah, Johnny and his dad Murray, they actually went to the race the year or two before I started doing it on the dirt.
Oh wow!
And so they could tell you the exact date, but I believe it was 06 or 07.
Wow. Very cool.
And then you had BMI, didn't you? A couple times.
Yeah, we had BMI. We ran there. We ran the nationals there once or twice before he tore that up and made it a flat cement track. And he has concert venues and stuff like that in there. So,
what was the car count when you first started racing dirt? Was it pretty good or?
No, not really. I mean, we probably had 10 to 12 cars probably in the sprint car class, which was the only class we ran. And then when we started running BMI, the numbers went up because we were running the late models, the wedge late models that we had. We ran those on dirt with a big sideboard down the side of them. And that year, a bunch of the guys from Oklahoma came, and we had, if you search BMI Dirt Nationals, you'll be able to find it. But we had,
really,
yeah, I think we had 24 sprint cars at least.
Oh wow!
And probably 15 of the modifieds and our late models. But you know, you talk about character and tracks having character, and that track was super smooth because it was indoors. You know, the elements. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's near as fun as a track like yours that's got character. So what you're doing means a lot to me, of course, but I think it means a lot to your local racers and everybody else that runs your track and stuff because it's a lot of work.
Now there was another track in Kansas too. Didn't he run a nationals?
Yeah, we had the nationals there once or twice. And that was also in his backyard. He lived in a super nice log cabin.
Oh yeah.
Looking out on the deck, he had an off-road track. He had the sprint car dirt track that we ran the nationals on, and we did that once or twice at his track.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I remember Chris Stump down in Endicott, and he had a bad weekend, I think, sort of.
Never coming back.
And I remember standing there and out of turn 4, and you were standing there, and he goes, "I hate dirt. I'm never coming back." Well, you're going to be your 3rd year now.
Yeah.
And the first year you came out was you had a good car that first year, and even the second year you did well. You just had some issues, but what do you think so far of this dirt?
Longer than 3 years, isn't it?
What's that?
I think it's been more like 5 or 6.
Oh wow!
I think you've run at least 4 or 5.
I think he went once at Endicott and 2 years here. This would be his 3rd year.
Well,
if I remember right.
3rd or 4th.
Yeah. So what do you think of dirt so far? I mean, obviously you must like it. You're coming back, but
it's dirty. It's different. I like it. Like Todd was saying earlier, I actually probably like the dirt nationals more than I do the asphalt nationals. Just
is it because the dirt gives you a fair advantage over asphalt? I mean, it's a good equalizer, maybe.
Yeah, it's when you race on dirt, it actually makes you a better driver on asphalt too.
Really?
I kept telling me that, and I thought he was full of it, but it actually makes you a better driver
What is it about that then, Chris? I mean, is it the cornering aspect of it? Is the rolling in, rolling out? I mean, what is it that?
It's probably the cornering. I never really was really good at like sliding around the corners, but when I go out there and race on dirt, you actually slide a lot,
Mm.
and I actually do that a lot in my modified now. And I probably burned the right rear tire off, but you know, you learn about that stuff, and I just really enjoy it now, and that's why I'm gonna bring a truck. Like I said earlier, when I seen all the trucks out there last year,
Mm.
it was an awesome race, and I was like, I told myself that night, I'm gonna bring a truck back next year because I had an older frame, so I'm gonna try it and see what happens.
Well, I know Chuck, you always talk about the trucks. Do you have
Oh
an
man, those
opinion?
things.
Do you have an opinion on it?
Yeah, I'm always amazed. Gatsky's times two and sobbing our truck class here locally now, and man, I'm always amazed. Those trucks, they're so damn loose. You know, it's like you're driving. What did I say? It's like driving with slicks on a frozen lake. But those guys they get them dialed in, man. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, I love the quarter scale nationals for that reason because you see these guys coming off surface and going onto dirt like this.
Hmm.
It's got to be fun, but frustrating and challenging. I mean, your setup is different. Like you said, the cornering aspect of it is
It
different.
is when
But
you go out there in A-Main and you break every time.
yeah, I remember that last year. You were was
Um,
something was
Well, you broke
bent.
a frame, didn't you, one year?
He had to go
I
to Mike's
broke a
shed.
frame one year. We tried to
Yeah,
weld it in your garage,
yeah, I
and you ran
remember
out
that.
of
Yeah,
oxygen. I'm just,
yeah.
the goal is not to break a frame or anything.
Well, how'd you break the
Uh,
frame? Is it just because the car's old? Because I don't remember you. Did you hit the
I
wall
flipped
hard
it.
enough to break it, or?
Rolled it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I flipped it on the front stretch there,
I remember
Oh,
that.
okay.
and it broke right where the servo's at.
So get
Mm.
some oxygen in your
So
tank, Mike. Settling
Yeah,
doesn't work without oxygen.
it's got oxygen and settling
Yeah,
in the tank. So
we're
Yeah.
got ours filled up too. Paul, make sure
I
he
hope I don't
got
need it.
that filled up this last week.
I got
I'll
some
tell
let's
you
different
what,
spindles this year, so
talking about
let's
the
look at
trucks, that
let's.
race last year between Johnny and I still, that's probably one of my most fun races I've ever ran. And because Johnny and I was just bumper to bumper, it seemed like for that whole race.
In
And
that truck, yes.
Yep.
yeah, and the trucks handled so good that night, and it was just a ball. And we both gave each other room, and it wasn't any dirty driving or
No, it
anything.
was
And
not. It was
it
such a
was a
clean race.
blast. Somewhere that's got to be on video. I'd love to watch it again because it was so much fun. But
Sure.
hopefully this year my throttle opens up all the way and I'm not in everybody's way like I was for the whole last 45 laps of last year's race.
Well,
But
Jared kept rear-ending you going into 3, 4,
I was
and
up
then
there
we send
laughing
him to the
because
back, and then he passes everybody on top of turn 2,
yeah,
and that's not I don't like going on top of out of turn
Not
2.
in
There's something
two.
about turn 2 that's just not right. I don't know. It's
Yeah. No.
and then he get behind Todd and going into 3 and 4 and whammy.
I was
checkers
Pull
are
running.
back.
wreckers.
I mean, I never lifted. I didn't lift for that whole last second half of the race because the throttle was only going not even half, but it was
Yep.
still running fast through the corners.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we got laughing up there because I knew I was in his way and I was trying not to block him, but yet, finding
You
that
were
right
leading.
speed to pass somebody. And
Yeah.
we kind of got tickled up there about it, but Sabine ended up pulling it off, didn't he?
Yep, in the sprint car.
The
He was
ghost.
running
Yeah.
The
third.
ghost.
And Jared, he ran out of time because we kept putting him to the back, and then your throttle, and he took home the win. Andy Rucker, do you guys know Andy Rucker?
My brother-in-law.
Your brother-in-law?
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Tell him thank you for his service. Is that him there in the uniform or his
Yes.
son? Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for
Cool.
your service,
Very good.
Andy.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Paul Covington. He's another guy that says he didn't like dirt.
Yeah. And now look at this. It's got his name and everything on it.
He's bought in now, baby.
Woo, he's in it. He's in it now. He's
Yeah.
hook,
Yeah.
line, and sinker.
Hey, Todd, you remember him saying that he'll never run a sprint car or never own one or never run one?
Never. Yep. Never, ever will he run a sprint car.
Never
he
say
wants
no.
to do this on dirt, huh?
And yeah, now he's going to do it on dirt.
Wow. And then there's Mr. Dennis Stevens with Mr. Yards and More. He's on.
Hi, Dennis.
He's going to go down to Beatrice and pick up the plaques for me, which really saves a lot of time. Got to roll in somehow. And then our head scoring director, Kim Meyer. Hey, guys. Chris Stump, it's your year.
There you go, Chris.
Wow.
There you
Thank
go,
you.
baby.
You know, here's the deal,
Big
Chris.
railroadsman year.
Here's the deal,
I'm
Chris.
gonna-
I'm finally running the Dirt Nationals, and who she picked? You. She has no confidence in me.
I love
I
it.
think the key is don't take my car out to the best of show.
Yeah.
That's what jinxed you every time.
Well,
Yep,
you know,
yep.
it's funny because Chris had these pretty orange, I don't
Yep.
know, on your wheels, right?
No,
Your,
we're
With
mud-
the
mud
orange
plugs.
duct
plug.
tape.
Yeah,
And
mud
we had
plugs.
my mother and her cousin do best of show judge. And all they said was, we like those wheels. And I said, well, what about the car itself? No, the wheels are so pretty. So you
Oh,
had a
man.
pretty car because
It
of the
was-
wheels.
It was just funny because it was just orange duct tape.
Just duct
I
yeah.
just cut it around
It
the
wasn't even
rim.
it wasn't even vinyl.
That's awesome.
You went
Yeah,
to orange
duct
duct tape.
Orange duct tape about yards.
Well, wasn't it the year before that or maybe it was that year, the one guy that his decals didn't get done, so he just basically had taped on numbers and
Yep.
but he had those
Like Salthound's
hubcaps
car.
on there too with
Yep,
that were
yep.
fluorescent, and your
That was
mom
salty.
just loved them, and so he
Yeah.
won that. And
He did. His truck.
yeah, next thing you know, we've all got ours taped up. I
And
tell you what, Mike, we're all going to miss your mom.
Yeah.
I hate to bring anything down or anything,
No,
but
no.
Yep.
she doesn't though. She lifts all of our spirits when you think about her
Yeah.
and the things.
Yep.
I mean, when we'd get out of our truck, the first person that she would hug would be Todd Gunder, and
you know, I always talk Todd. I says, "Are you going to
Boyfriend.
be my daddy? I need a new race car, Dad. Can you get me
Yeah.
a new race car?"
oh man, so it was always awesome, man. So
Well, and she always said that she just loved, Mike Schultz has that semi, right? And Mike parked it in front of the house one year, and Mom just got tickled pink over that semi parked in front of the house. And she just always, that's reserved for Mike Schultz now. We got to put that semi in front of the house. And she just bragged everybody about a semi sitting in front of the house. And so this year I told Mike, I says, if you want to park it in front of the house, that's your parking
There you go.
spot.
that's
There
right.
you go.
That's right.
Dave Perillo is looking at those two studs. Well, thank you very much.
I don't think Dave knows us, unless you know Dave. I don't know
No,
him.
I know of
Oh,
Dave.
okay.
Dave's
Gotcha.
from McCheesy Park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I met Dave long time ago, way back in the days.
Looks like he's got quite the car collection. They're looking at his Facebook avatar.
Really?
Yeah.
If you guys haven't been to McChesney Park, you need to go up there and run
I
because
ran up there one year, me and a guy, gosh, I can't even think he's from Sargent, Nebraska. And we decided to take a road trip up there one night to race the stock cars up there. And I've never seen a track. So we raced in parking lots back in the early days, and that's all we had. We didn't have a custom track or built track. And when we showed up at McCheesy and we looked at this, and I thought, how am I going to get around this track? Because it's so banked. But we had a good time. Didn't do very good, but we had a good time.
what year would that have been?
Huh?
Year would that have been?
Let's see. I started racing in 1986, so I would say probably 89 or 90.
Okay, because see that track where it's at right now, and maybe Dave will chime in. It used to be right around the corner from where they're at now. I'm not exactly sure when they built the new track. I say new, but the track that they're at right now, it's high bank, so it might have been this one that you were at, but because I'm not sure the date. Maybe Mike will tell, or Dave will tell.
I don't remember because the parking lot wasn't that big, and there was a small hobby store off to the side.
Well, that'd be this track then, I bet.
And at the time, it had like a rock infield. and then I think grass in the corners, maybe if I remember. But the rock really caught my attention on that.
Perillo just piped in, Mike.
1990.
1990. Yep.
Yeah. So that must have been about the year we went up there because it was a banked at, and it was banked, and I thought how, and then of course we never had driver stands when I first started racing. We raced just standing up, and that driver stand really threw me because I wasn't used to being that tall up in the air to race a car. So
Yeah.
yeah. So let's see. Paul says, I don't own it. I hire a driver.
Oh, he is the hired driver.
He is the hired driver. I'm the
hired
hired driver. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't own the car, huh? Okay. Well, gosh, how come?
He will, won't he, Paul? Or won't he, Todd?
Do what?
He'll own a sprint car before too long.
Oh, yeah. It won't be long.
It won't be long.
You need to get a ride. You need to get a ride.
That's funny.
You know that, Chuck?
Yeah, I know. I'm still, yeah.
I got two of them behind me.
Yeah. Everything's for sale.
Yeah.
For the right price.
Chuck might go home with a quarter scale sprint car.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'll be sleeping at your house. No.
Chris, now would be a good time to tell them that you'll be bringing it and it'll be for sale and you'll have it up there.
Yeah.
They both might be for sale again.
Uh-oh. Looking to upgrade.
Dave Perillo says 1990, and yes on rock. Okay, I thought so. Yeah, you couldn't cut that track by no means.
That's awesome.
Jeff Davis, he's a local racer at Hackberry Raceway, just
owner
by
director.
Ashton. Hello guys, just got done working on the track. They're going to be racing scales tomorrow. So
yeah, 10 scale, and I think they got that new Traxxas. I think I don't want to speak out of school, Jeff.
So what? Before we get going, we're about ready to call it quits because Todd's got some work to do on his car. I mean, his banners.
No, on banners.
And so, what have you guys over the years from last year and over the years? Have you guys did any changing on the cars? Did you guys learn anything new on any of this dirt racing coming in for this week or next week?
Go ahead, Chris.
No, not really. I'm coming back with the same setup. You guys are talking about new clay and new surface, so I'm starting to wonder if this is going to work. I guess we're going to find out. We might be making some changes real fast, huh, Todd?
Yeah, we might.
Yeah.
It's sticky, fella. We were traction rolling. I had issues with getting to the race last week, but 2 weeks ago we had traction rolling. I mean, we had some guys, bicycling out there because there's just so much bite in this track, and it comes in nice. It does come in nice, and then it'll loosen up a little bit. It seems like about the time the mains come, Mike, it seems like it's a little more loose. But
yeah,
boys,
I noticed the times have dropped off from the heat races.
Right.
The first heat race is kind of bad because the track is still kind of weird. It's dried slick. Yeah. It's how it is, guys, on a when you're battling the sun and if it's windy, But then as we still continue to add water to it, and then it comes around on Saturday night. I'm just hoping. I've been pouring water on it since Wednesday.
Still 100 degrees out there.
Cooled off.
Well,
we finally
it's been pretty good lately.
Broke.
It's been really good. But I broke the track open and got her all. I showed a video on my Facebook page, and then I start pouring water on it to get it down deep. And last year I did that, and I'm gonna tell you, Saturday night was that was a comical show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just. I mean, we had the top quarter inch of that was slime.
The track could not take any more water, and we put on the little. I thought I'll just put a little bit more, and that track just stayed slimy on top. We had Kevin Schutz come out to do a video on Todd. You remember that? From Channel 10 and 11, and he fell flat on his butt walking down
with that camera.
With the camera and tripod.
Woo. You think our cars are expensive? Man.
I think the traffic cone fell too, didn't you, Chuck?
Hey, you saw him
still the orange shirt. Yeah.
I'm not wearing my pants, but I got the orange shirt. So
but we had a hell of a time.
Night too?
I did. I ate it as well. Yeah.
He did. He fell. You ever
Yep,
seen
it-
Forrest Gump where the truck goes by and he gets splashed with mud in his face and he grabs
oh
this
man, it
guy's
was a
T-shirt and
mess.
has a happy face?
Yeah,
That was Chuck.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
lame.
And he not
It
only
was a
fell
mess.
once, but he fell like what, twice,
Oh
3
yeah,
times?
twice. Yeah, I don't know.
He
Yeah,
couldn't get up.
it was
So
slick.
hopefully I can time it a little bit better to where it's not so slimy and stuff. So, but the
Different
format,
dirt,
guys, if you're interested, before we get off here real quick, Wednesday's all day practice. From 6 to 10, and then 10 to 11 is open practice. No, I'm not going to be watching yellows and stuff. It'll be like a 15 or 20-minute practice session for every class. Then we go into Thursday, and this is when the goodies start. We start doing hot laps. You get a 10-minute hot lap session, and then we get right into the heat races. We'll do a 5-minute qualifier, 3 fast consecutive laps. That will set your time for your heat races and any tiebreakers going into the feature on Friday. We'll do 3 rounds of heats, 25 laps each, and for each class. I'm trying to remember all this in my head. And we carry that over into Friday for another round of heats. Of course, you got your hot lap session, another round of heats. And then all those heat races will set the A feature for Friday night. It's a 40 lap A main. We don't count yellows. Um, we do reinvert back to the last previously lap. We don't. And I think a lot of guys forget this. It's not used to racing this track. They say, "Well, I'm leading down the backstretch, or I'm leading it out of turn 3 or 4." Doesn't matter. It's whatever the computer says. And if the yellow comes out, we invert back to the last previously lap. And that caught some people off guard a few times last year because they swore up and down they were leading, and no, we go by what the computer says.
The software doesn't lie, right?
Software doesn't lie. And then we go into Saturdays, which is just the main event on Saturdays. We'll have plenty of practice because we're just doing the mains only. And you score points all weekend long. You're qualifying all your heat races, your feature on Friday, and the top 6 total points set themselves in the A main for the big show if we have more than 10 cars. We'll start 8 in the feature on Friday and 10 on Saturday. The tiebreaker to get into the A main on Saturday is how you finish Friday night. If you win Friday night and you're didn't have a very good heat races and you're down on the bottom and you have a chance to qualify into the A for Saturday, that tiebreaker could help you a lot.
Mhm.
And then, of course, we rain out on Saturday, which I hope we don't. How you finish Friday is how you're going to take the belt home this year. So it'll be 80 laps, 40-40 split. We'll bring everybody in on lap 40 to fuel up. You got 5 minutes to do what you need to do, and we'll send them right back out again. And you go for the prize, and that's the belt. There's no total point winners. It's just the total belt. So any questions, guys, coming up on that?
There's no use of Todd even racing. He has too many belts already.
He can start trading them in. He can start trading them in for
a coat or something.
exactly.
Burlington Coat Factory or something. So,
Yep.
but we're going to try to get done. You know, the thing that I missed a lot last year, especially last year, was the fellowship after the race. You know, sitting around with lawn chairs and shooting the bull, having some coolies and stuff. Last year we couldn't do it because we were getting done at 2:00 in the morning, and I'm hoping I can streamline this to where everybody still gets plenty of racing, but we get some time off so you guys can get home and rest and relaxation, because getting done at 2:00 in the morning has got to be tough. Now, fortunately, you guys can sleep in all day.
It makes funner.
But so yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm setting up for. Guys, Speedway Motors got some new displays. If you guys want to go visit the Speedway Motors Museum again, but there's a lot of things to do in town. Like I said, Wednesday night is pizza night. I'm going to bring pizza out. Thursday night we're going to probably do. I think Kim's going to do Sloppy Joe's on Thursday night, Goodwill donation. I'm going to grill hamburgers Friday night, Goodwill donation. And then Mr. Dennis Stevens is working with Mr. Good Sense to bring in subs out for Saturday. And again, Goodwill donation to cover the cost. So
Awesome.
any questions, guys? I won't have the fireworks this year. The guy that normally shoots them off, his mom just died about 2 weeks ago. So
Oh my gosh.
he's struggling with that issue, trying to get
Wow.
things settled. And I get it. I've been there. So no fireworks this year, so I won't scare anybody on the driver's stand. So any questions, guys, at all? Todd, Chris, on this?
Nope. I think
Good.
you've got it all covered. Once
Okay.
again, you've got it planned out really well, and we can't wait.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Jimmy
I think I know who this is.
have the best
Jimmy, I
hired
think.
driver for 305. Okay.
Yeah.
That must be
well,
Cody
no.
Boone.
Well, I thought Lexi was but she's driving a truck,
No,
right?
because Jimmy was saying a couple of weeks ago that he's going to bring in Cody to race that car. So
Oh, gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
so we'll have another 305.
That'll be fun. That'll be a good time.
Yep. Guys, any other questions, comments? We're about ready to end. We're again, I told Todd said, we're going to last an hour. Now we're an hour and 22 minutes. I told you, Todd.
Good stuff.
He's all right.
Anything else, Todd or Chris, that you want to say? I guess the last question I have for you, and I know that you guys raced quarter scale many, many years. How do you want QSAC to remember you if you ever retire? I'll start with Chris first.
Probably a lot of wrecks.
We got to say something
It seems like
positive.
I wreck, and I'm a very aggressive driver, I guess. That's how I'll be remembered.
Yeah.
Is that how they're going to in the future when they say they'll look
I
at
don't
Chris
have
Stump's
any.
picture on the wall and says,
Yeah, I don't have any patience. I don't know. Whenever you get up there, I just don't have any patience. I don't know why.
That's how you want QSAC to remember you as an aggressive driver.
That's all right.
How about you, Todd? How
I
does
don't
QSAC?
know.
How do you want QSAC to remember you when you ever retire and just go fishing?
I guess it's not so much QSAC. It's just all the racers and all the racers that I've met over the years and stuff like that. And that is QSAC. The racers are QSAC, regardless of what people say or think. Everyone in there is a volunteer. They do their damnedest to make sure things are fair. So I guess that's how I'd like to be remembered, as someone that was fair and someone that put blood, sweat, and tears into our hobby for a lot of years, and basically just did it for the sport. I'm competitive. Let's not even go there. I'm competitive as hell, but anymore it's more about the friendship and that kind of stuff and the camaraderie and stuff like that. But I'd just like to be remembered as a fair guy that tried to grow the hobby.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the last word. We're going to do the QSAC Dirt Nationals starting Wednesday per practice, and then we get into the big event Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Chuck Burnley is going to be our race director on the pit road. Keep everybody in line. We're definitely going to need marshals again. Take the top 2 out of each heat race and marshal, and top 3 out of the features. Mark Hacker graciously is going to donate his time to help me race. I get to race the Nationals. I've been wanting to do it for years. I watch you guys, how fun you're having out there. I'm not saying I'm going to be good at it, but I look forward to crashing with Chris Stump and
This can be fixed.
It can be fixed.
Right.
Yeah. And
man made it, man broke it, man can fix it. That's right.
I asked him what her thoughts are about me racing, and she said, go for it, so I want to. Now, if I don't do very good, or if I'm out of the whole ball game, I won't do it. But I just wanted to attempt to do it and be part of.
Are you racing a 305 or 360?
No, I'm racing a 360. Yeah.
Big boy.
Yeah. I'm going to race the 360 class.
Hey, I had an idea that just popped in my head when you said that Chuck was the race director again. Chris, don't you think we need to get him to Ingles in 2026 to help be the race director of the Ingles Nationals?
There you go, Chuck.
That's a whole new world, man. That's a whole new world.
No, it's not. It's really not. There's so much that carries over, and your strong will and your ability.
That's one way to put it.
Your ability to give us all hell when we need it and set us straight would be
probably be a hell to do a good job there, because you probably need somebody like you to be there to do something like that, because you do an awesome job out there.
Thank you.
I would love it. I mean,
you need to also ask also have him do your introduction for the drivers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's very Todd and Chris. Thank you both. Yeah, my biggest thing is you're all competitive and it's awesome and it's fun. It's great to see that out there. I just want to make sure everybody's leaving thinking, you know what, I want to come back next year. I had such a great time there, regardless of how they finish, right? So thank you both very much for that. And it probably helps that I don't have a dog in the hunt. I don't have a car I got to worry about, so I can be a little more straightforward. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
I
So
got one right back there.
yeah, no, I'm good. Look at he's working hard, man. He's working hard.
I'm trying, Todd.
I know. We'll get him some oil fire Saturday
We'll get him
night.
right up with oil fire.
Exactly. Yeah, I saw you got it. Where'd your sponsor go? There you go.
There you
Remember,
go. We'll
this
get
is
the red
Radio
stuff.
Junkie.
Sarah Stump says, yes, please come to Eagles. Because I think she's your scoring director too, ain't she, Chris?
Yeah, she would appreciate him coming out there to help him out or help her out. So
I got the easy job. I got the easy job.
And Wilman's already going to be there, so you guys could ride together.
Talk to Don nicely, and he could be in the penthouse.
Yeah.
We got plenty of beds.
There you go.
We got a place for a hotel.
We got a place for you to stay and everything.
And they'll even let you wear your orange shirt.
I'll wear the orange shirt. That's right. That's right. No, it's very kind. So we'll see what the future holds.
Well, guys,
all right, we'll see. That sounds like Todd Gunner. He only said that. We'll see.
Well, we hope you guys enjoy your time out here. We look forward to having everybody out, trying to do a good job on the track this year again. I think we'll have a good track. Working on it every night. Got a lot of good sponsors. Support those who support us. Mr. Stu Snyder's coming out to judge. He's a big sprint car driver in his own right, and we look forward to having him come out. Guys, last word. Anything you guys want to say before we sign off?
No, I just want to say thank you for everything that you do, and I'm glad that we can go out there and race at your track again. I love it. I'm ready to come back out there. I look forward to it every year. It's better than the Asphalt Nationals for some reason. It's have a lot more better time out there. It's just an awesome time.
Is it because we don't run as much? We just run a little bit here and there and sprinkle it in, or
I really like racing at night. I'm a big guy. I like the race at night.
He's a railroadsman. Big railroadsman.
Well, guys, thank you.
I guess my last word would be, since my wife just walked in, I need to thank my lovely wife for letting me come race and everything with you guys.
Yes.
And drag your friends with you.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, appreciate you guys coming out. We'll sign you guys off again to Quarter Scale Dirt Nationals. This coming or next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Come on out. If you're a spectator, if you like a good quarter scale RC racing, come on out and watch them. It's free to get into the stands. All we ask is have fun and laugh and smile. That's all we ask. So drivers, thank you. Chuck, we'll get you off here a little bit.
Safe travels, guys.
All right. Take care,
Chuck,
guys.
what do you think so far?
Great time. Mike, you asked about what do you want to be remembered for? So many of us get wrapped up around careers and we end up living to work, right? I mean, we're literally living because we work. And I love seeing people who find their sweet spot in life, right? Their passion. And you could tell when you talk to them, there's just something, people light up whenever they start talking about what they're passionate about. And when I say passion, I mean, yeah, it's competitiveness, it's the fire, it's the energy, the excitement, but there's really that love there that they're doing what they enjoy. We're only given 74 years on average, right? So it's cool to know that you're making a difference in the lives of people. At the very least, you're leaving it better than when you got here. So that's what I enjoy about this group of guys, getting everybody together. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It'll be another great race for us. You obviously put on a great show, you and Kim. Hats off to Hacker for Mark to come out and help out as well.
Yeah.
I think that's
I couldn't do it. And I really I really wanted to do it this year. My
Yeah,
car's
yeah.
got a lot better.
You've had a great season. I mean,
It's
you're
not the fastest car out there, but boy, it
but
sure
you're
does handling.
consistent.
And I did a lot
And
of
you're
different
consistent.
setup changes on it over the years. And last Saturday
Is
was the best that I ever handled. So
who's the new guy that was Brad Booker?
Brad Brakeman.
Brakeman, something like, is
Yeah,
he coming out? Do you know if he's
yes,
coming out?
he's running the
Good,
305 class. Yep, yep.
good, nice. Yeah, he's
So,
got some good looking cars. Both his
and we'll
cars are
see,
beautiful.
and I'll see drivers that I haven't seen all year. If Brad and Mike Schultz, I saw those guys up in Algona, but Todd, those guys I haven't
Schultze.
seen, and I'll look
Schultze's
forward to.
awesome. Schultze's like, what is he, like 5'3", and he's in 150 pounds, maybe soaking wet, and he
Yeah,
drives this huge semi. And
yeah,
I'll tell you what, Schultze was impressive 2 years ago, Mike, and you'll remember this. He struggled. And then in the end, it all came together for him, man. It
yeah.
was
I
so
think he
cool
won
to
the
see.
nationals that year, didn't he?
He did. Yeah. It was so cool to see that. Neat
Yeah.
guy. So
Alan Holly,
thank
great
you,
guy.
Alan.
Chuck.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Alan. I
yeah.
appreciate that. Comes with
Well,
getting old.
yeah. Well, we're all getting up there, and that's the
Exactly.
thing is, I'm going to be 66 years old today, or this in November.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how many years I've got left in me, as
Yeah.
far as
Yeah. Make the
driving
most
and
of it.
eyesight. And I want to
Right.
experience something that I don't get to experience, and that's the Dirt
Yep.
Nationals.
I
I
think
know
that's
we're going to
awesome.
Kentucky and in
Right.
October, and I look forward to that because that's going to be a nice indoor track. But
Right.
I just wanted to experience, and if I can't because of issues and track stuff,
Right.
that's fine. I can set out.
Right.
But I just wanted to make an attempt at it, and hopefully I can, maybe podium if I get lucky enough. So,
Right.
guys, thank you for turning in.
Yep.
We're going to have the Nationals. Chuck, thank you.
Yeah. Looking forward to it, man.
We'll see you Wednesday, guys. Come on out.
Have a good night.
Good night.